Hello, welcome to Unit 4, Chapter 4, Emotional Intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify, use, understand, and manage emotions to relieve a stress, communicate effectively, and empathize with others. Emotional intelligence is a prerequisite for building mutual trust and understanding. This is also a prerequisite for administration in public services. This promotes effective and efficient governance. Self-regulate Daniel Goleman, a person who did a lot of research on the issue of emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman says that self-awareness plays a vital role in emotional intelligence, in understanding and controlling the emotions of others. Self-regulation is important for emotional intelligence because once you are in a position to perceive your own emotions, and once you are capable to control your own emotions, then you are also capable to control emotions of others. People with a high degree of emotional intelligence are usually motivated. They think about the future plans. They are highly productive, love a change, and are very effective in whatever they do. Empathy is the most critical element of emotional intelligence. And you know what is empathy? Empathy means to share the feelings of others, to understand the feelings of others. Now, this empathy becomes very important if you want to develop emotional intelligence in you. Now, other thinkers like Salovey and Mayer, they have also given their own ideas on the issue of emotional intelligence. According to Salovey and Mayer, the first step in understanding emotions is to perceive them accurately. This is the first step. You must first perceive others' emotions accurately. This might involve understanding non-verbal body language and facial expressions in many cases. This is true that in perceiving other emotions, we have to be careful to perceive the non-verbal expressions given by other people. Now, the emotions that we perceive can carry a wide variety of meanings. If somebody is expressing angry emotions, the observer must understand the cause of their anger and what it might mean. The ability to manage emotion effectively is the key part of emotional intelligence. Definitely, once you know how to manage one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others, then that becomes important for emotional intelligence. Now, regulating emotions, responding appropriately, and responding to the emotions of others, all are important aspects of emotional management. Our uncontrolled stress impacts our both mind and body, that even stops our proper thinking, and that puts us in the state of depression. So one must know how to control a stress, the impacts of a stress. Emotional intelligence, by managing emotions, can free us from a stress. See how does this emotional intelligence work? Emotional intelligence, by managing emotions, can free us from a stress. By understanding your own emotions and how to control them, you are better able to express how you feel, understand how others feel. This allows you to communicate more effectively and forge a stronger relationship at work and in your personal life. It works in various ways. The most important role that our emotional intelligence plays in our life is managing our negative emotions effectively, so they do not overwhelm us and affect our judgment. It's a very important role of emotional intelligence. Reducing negative personalization. What is this negative personalization? Avoid jumping to an adversative conclusion immediately when you feel adverse about someone's behavior. For example, you are calling to your friend. You are just making ring several times, but you are not getting call back. Then immediately you come to the conclusion that your friend is ignoring. This is called negative personalization. When you have emotional intelligence, then you will just think that there may be certain such reasons why your friend is not replying. So this is the way how negative personalizations can be controlled. Instead, come up with multiple ways of viewing the situation before reacting. One effective way to manage your fear of rejection is to provide multiple options in important situation, so that no matter what happens, there are different options open before you. For example, when you are going to appear at interview for a job, you start thinking that if I do not get job, then a lot of adversities can come. This you need not to do. A person who is emotionally intelligent thinks that, okay, no problem. Even if I'm not going to get this job, there are many options open to us. I shall get job elsewhere. So this is what is important, how you manage your fear of rejection. The other way to manage emotions is by developing the ability to stay calm and manage stress. Yes, in the situation of a stress when you are put in, you just have the attitude of being calm. If you feel nervous and anxious, put cold water on your face and get some fresh air. See, this is how the researchers have told in such how to control such situations. The cool temperature can help reduce your anxiety levels. Now, in order to manage depressed and discouraged emotions, one should do intense aerobic exercises. Energize yourself. Start doing exercises because it is said that motion dictates emotions. So definitely your stressed emotion, even that can be controlled. We in our lives are placed in some situation where it becomes important to set our boundaries appropriately. That everyone should learn to just determine one's boundary so that others may not expect from you more than what you want to provide to them. And you also learn to say no without feeling guilty. Because generally what happens that it becomes very difficult for a man to speak no to someone. But this should not be the case. You say no with no guilt feeling. You disagree without being disagreeable. Now, most of us encounter unreasonable people in our lives. How can we manage our emotions in such situation? One can manage one's emotion in this situation by developing the ability to stay proactive and not reactive. This is the way how you can manage this situation. When you feel angry and upset with someone, before you say something, take a deep breath and count slowly to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10. Then you will realize that the time you reach 10, you have some solution in your mind to tackle the situation. So in most cases, by the time you reach 10, you will have figured out a better way of communicating the issue. One can express intimate emotions in close personal relationships through bidding. What is this bidding? The term bidding denotes a method of connection between two people desiring good relationship. Bidding is done by positive eye contact, a smiling, then putting the elbow and arm around someone's shoulder. These are the ways how you can express your intimate emotions. Now, verbal bidding is expressed as how are you doing? How are you feeling? I love you. I appreciate you. I like it when we talk like this. These are the different verbal expressions through which you can communicate your personal and positive relations and feelings to others. Now, behavioral bidding is done by offering food or beverage, a personalized card, a thoughtful gift, or a needed favor. This is how, through behavior, you can just express your this feeling, this emotion. So this bidding works like this way. Now, to improve your emotional intelligence and decision-making abilities, you need to understand and control the emotional side of your brain. That's the point, which is important to remember. Higher stress levels can overwhelm the mind and body, getting in the way of accurately reading a situation and hearing what someone is saying. So it would help if you had a stress boosting procedure to control your brain emotional side. Now, stress busting can be done by developing the ability to reduce stress quickly. The step to reduce stress is to recognize what stress feels like. How does your body feel when you are stressed? How does your muscle or stomach become tight or sore? Are your hands clenched? Is your breath shallow? Look, these are the expressions that you will find when you are in stress. Everyone reacts differently to a stress. If you become angry or agitated under stress, you will best to a stress relieving activity. You will be having the best stress relieving activity that quiet you down. That way you can control your that stress. The best way to reduce stress is by engaging one or more of your senses. This is very common and very important. Everyone is giving importance to one of the senses that we have, like sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. So each person responds differently to sensory input. So you must find soothing and energizing things. What does it mean? That if you are just go on using your ear to listen good songs, begin listening those good songs, and that will help you in relieving you of the stress in which you are put in. So the best way, now emotional awareness, another important point of emotional intelligence to control emotions. Emotional awareness works in improving emotional intelligence by connecting to your emotions and having a moment-to-moment awareness of them and how they influence your thoughts and actions is the key to raising emotional intelligence. That when you have this emotional awareness, that how your emotions move on one after another, then that will definitely help you in improving your emotional intelligence. Anger, sadness, fear, and joy. These are four core emotions. These are core emotions. Most of us are disconnected from our core emotions because of the negative childhood experiences. In childhood, parents tell, don't be angry. don't be sad, don't be fearful, and so on. The result is that we start giving less importance to these core emotions. Most of us are disconnected from our core emotions because of such childhood experiences. But although we can distort, deny, or numb our feelings or these emotions, we cannot eliminate them. They continue with us in our mind. We have a relationship with our emotions. By encountering one emotion after another, as our experiences change from moment to moment, you can develop your emotional awareness by learning mindfulness and meditation. To be emotionally healthy and emotionally intelligent, you must reconnect to your core emotions, accept them, and become comfortable with them. That is, if there is a situation to be angry, you be angry. If there is a situation to become fearful, you be fearful. So you get connected with your core emotions. This is very important for you. This is how the emotional intelligence can be developed. Being a good communicator requires more than just verbal skills. Often, what you say is less important than how you say it, or the other non-verbal signals you send out, the gestures you make, and the way you sit. These express and communicate much more things, which one must not ignore. Successful non-verbal communication depends on managing stress, recognizing your emotions, and understanding the signals you are sending and receiving. Communication does not stop even if you stop speaking, even if you become silent in certain situation. There also you are communicating certain things to others. This is important to understand. So think about what you are transmitting as well. In order to improve non-verbal communications, focus on the other person. If you plan, sorry, if you plan what you will say next, daydreaming or thinking about something else, you will almost miss non-verbal cues and other subtleties in others. Eye contact is very important. Eye contact can communicate interest, maintain the flow of conversation, and help gauge the other person's response. So, in conversation, this eye contact is very important. To improve non-verbal communication, pay attention to the non-verbal cues you are sending and receiving, such as facial expression, tone of voice, posture and gestures, touch, and the timing and pace of the conversation. All these matter a lot in understanding the correct emotions expressed by others. Humor, laughter, and play are natural antidotes of life's difficulties that all of us know. They lighten your burden and help you keep things in perspective. So they help to improve emotional intelligence. This laughter, play, humor, etc. Playful communication allows you to view your frustration and disappointments from new perspectives, and laughter and play enable you to survive annoyances, hard times, and setbacks. This broadens emotional intelligence. Now, humor relaxes and energizes oneself. Humor relieves fatigue and relaxes your body, which allows you to recharge and accomplish more. This helps to broaden and improve your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence becomes creative in the state of humor and play. When you loosen up, you free yourself of rigid thinking and being, allowing you to get creative and see things in new ways. This is another dimension how you can improve your emotional intelligence. One can develop play communication by setting aside regular quality playtime. The more you joke, play, and laugh, the easier it becomes. Resolving conflict is in a healthy atmosphere. Constructive ways can strengthen trust between people. Conflict is not perceived as threatening or punishing. It fosters freedom, creativity, and satisfactory relationship. This helps in promoting emotional intelligence. Conflict can be resolved by staying focused on present. When you will go on thinking about what has happened in the past, then that conflict cannot be resolved. So we have to forget that if you want to resolve conflict with your friend and stay to the present. When you are not holding on to old hurts and resentments, you can recognize the reality of a current situation and view it as a new opportunity for resolving old feelings, old hurts, and old conflicts. Arguments take time and energy, especially if you want to resolve them positively. Consider what is worth arguing about and what is not. Not that you go on arguing for the sake of arguing. Forgiveness is the correct method to end the conflict. You be ready to forgive the fault of others. That will also help you in resolving the conflict lot. Now, emotional intelligence can be taught and developed. Very important. This can be taught and developed. Many books and tests help you determine your current emotional intelligence. and identify where you need some work. There is also another way to improve emotional intelligence. See, what are those ways? Yes, observe how you react to people. Do you rush to judgment before you know all the facts, which normally people do? Do you stereotype? Look honestly at how you think and interact with other people. Humility. Humility can be an excellent quality. And it does not mean you are shy or lack self-confidence. When you practice humility, you say you know what you did and can be quietly confident about it. Self-evaluation works to a great extent in understanding one's own feelings and emotions, and also of the feeling and emotions of others. In self-evaluation, one accepts that he is not perfect. When you start evaluating yourself, you will feel that you are not perfect. So he can amend himself and can resolve emotional differences. This helps improving one's emotional intelligence. Take responsibility for your action. Again, very important. Take responsibility for your action. If you hurt someone's feelings, apologize directly. Don't ignore what you did or avoid what you did or avoid the person. This helps in promoting emotional intelligence. Examine how you react to stressful situations. Do you blame others or become angry at them even when it's not their fault? The ability to stay calm and control difficult situations is highly valued. Now, I am coming to explain how this IQ is different from EQ. An intelligent quotient, IQ, is a total score derived from a standardized tests or subtests designed to assess human intelligence. That is IQ. When you study, you go on knowing things, new things, better and better. That represents your IQ. There is a difference between IQ and EQ, emotional quotient and emotional intelligence. Intelligence quotient is your ability to learn. IQ is the ability to learn. And it's the same, at age 15 as it is at age 50. See, this is the status of IQ, nature of IQ, that it will remain the same even up to the age of 50. On the other hand, emotional intelligence is flexible. It can change. It can be improved. So this is the basic difference between IQ and EQ. Emotional intelligence is distinct from your intellect. There is no known connection between IQ and EQ. That is, it is not the case that when someone is highly intellectual, you cannot predict that he will be also highly emotionally intelligent. No connection there between the two. Again, the personality is the stable. The difference between emotional intelligence and personality is a stable a style that defines each of us. Personality results from hardwired preferences, such as the inclination towards introversion and extroversion. We say personalities to be introvert and extrovert. Emotional intelligence is different from personality. Like IQ, personality cannot be used to predict emotional intelligence. You have very good personality, but on this basis, one cannot predict that you are also emotionally high. Also, like Yuki, the character is stable over a lifetime and does not change. On the other hand, emotional intelligence can change and it can be improved. Emotional intelligence has a great impact on our professional success. The short answer is a lot. It's a powerful way to focus your energy in one direction with a tremendous result. Emotional intelligence is the foundation for many critical skills. It impacts almost everything one says and does. Leadership is the most important quality of a man engaged in a serious workplace. Emotional intelligence equips a man to become a leader, to become impartial and tactful. There is a link between emotional intelligence and earning. See, a person with emotional intelligence can earn more than a person who does not have emotional intelligence. As per the research, people with a high degree of emotional intelligence make more money. See, this is on the basis of research. An average of $29,000 more per year than people with a low degree of emotional intelligence. So we find that how this emotional intelligence is important for one's life, one's activity, one's career. Even it is very, very important in the areas of administration and governance. So with this, now I am going to close my presentation. Thanks.